The automobile residual market, the first of the residual market mechanisms of automobile coverage, was established in New Hampshire in 1938. A state began to pass law requiring drivers to furnish poor proof of insurance. Having auto liability insurance become a workers' compensation. Workers' compensation insurance covered the cost of medical care and rehabilitation for workers injured on the job. It also compensates them for lost wages and provides death benefits for their dependents if they are killed in work-related accidents, including terrorist attacks. The workers' compensation system is the exclusive remedy for on-the-job injuries suffered by employees as part of the social contract embedded in each state. The employee gives up the right to sue the employee for injuries caused by the employer's negligence and in return receive workers' compensation benefits regardless of who or what caused the accident, as long as it happened in the workplace as the result of and in the course of workplace activities. Workers' compensation system vary from state to state. Status and court decisions control many aspects, including the handling of claims, the evolution of impairment, and settlement of disputes, the amount of benefits injured workers receive, and the strategies used to control costs. Workers' compensation costs are one of the many factors that influence businesses to expand or relocate in a state, generating jobs. When premiums rise sharply, legislators often call for reform. The last round of widespread reform legislation started in the late 1980s. In general, the reforms enable employers and insurers to better control medical care costs through coordination and oversight of the treatment plan and return to work process and to improve workplace safety. Some states are now approaching a crisis once again as new problem arise. The work the workers compensation contract, the industrial expansion that took place in the United States during the 19th century was accompanied by a significant increases in workplace accidents at the time. The only way injured workers could obtain compensation was, was to sue their employers for negligence. Proving negligence was a costly time consuming effort and often the court ruled in favor of the employer, but by the early 1990s, a state-by-state pattern of legislative proposal designed to compensate injured workers has begun to emerge. Wisconsin enacted the first permanent workers' compensation insurance law in 1911. New York had enacted a law higher earlier, but it was found unconstitutional, and by 1920, all but eight states had enacted similar laws. By 1949, all states had a workers' compensation system that provided compensation to workers hurt on the job regardless of who was at fault. The cost of medical treatment and wage loss benefits were the responsibility of the employer, which were paid through the workers' compensation system. The scope of workers' compensation coverage has grown considerably since its early beginnings in 1972. States amended their laws to match performance standards recommended by the National Commission on State Work- Workmen's Compensation Laws. Many states took action not only to expand benefits but also to make the coverage applicable to classification of employees not previously covered. However, if compensation levels are not uniform, in some states benefits are still inadequate, while in others they are overly generous. Some states were slow in adopting the National Commission guidelines and have still not embraced the entire package of 19 recommendations published in 1972. Many states many 1972, many states exempt employers with only a few workers, fewer than five, four or three, depending on the state, from mandatory coverage laws. A major benefits issue still to be resolved in some states in the imbalance between levels of compensation for various degrees of impairment. Permanent partial disabilities tend to be overcompensated, and permanent total disability undercompensated. Some coverage for workers' compensation is provided by federal programs. For example, the Longshoremen's and Harbour Workers' Compensation Act, passed in 1972 and subsequently amended in 1984, provides coverage for certain maritime employees, and the Federal Employees Compensation Act protects workers hired by the U.S. government. Employers can purchase workers' compensation coverage from private insurance companies or state-run workers' agencies, known as state funds in 14 states. State funds compete with private insurance competitive funds, and in 4 states, the state is the sole provider of workers' compensation insurance. State funds also function as the insurer of last resort of businesses that have difficulty getting coverage in the open market. The only state in which workers' compensation coverage is truly optional is Texas, where about one-third of the state's employers are so-called non-subscribers, those that opt out of the system. Can be used by employees for failure to provide a safe workplace. The non-subscribers tend to be smaller companies, but the percentage of larger companies opting out has been growing. System known as self-insurance. Large organizations with many employees can often estimate the cost of routine type of injuries. Self-insurance, along with large deductibles, which are in effect self-insurance now, account for more than about 9 out of 10 people in the nation's work, workforce are protected by workers' compensation insurance. How the system workers' compensation system are administered by the individual state, generally by commissions or boards whose responsibility it is to ensure compliance with the laws. Investigation is investigate and decide dispute cases and collect data. In most states, employers are required to keep record of accidents. Accidents must be reported to the Workers' Compensation Board and to the company's insurer within a specified number of days. Workers' compensation cover an injured worker's medical care and attempts to cover his or her economic loss. This includes loss of earnings and in the extra expenses associated with the injury. Injured workers receive all medically necessary and appropriate treatment from the first day of injury or illness and rehabilitation when the disability is severe.